Hello there. Today I want to talk about royalty. What comes to mind when we hear royalty? Certainly not Bridgerton. If you knew you were royalty, would you still talk, dress, and act the way the world wants you to? I'll start with a story. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Lara. She lived in a small town and she didn't look much like anything really. She wore hand-me-downs, she blended in the crowd, she was always trying to fit in. But what no one knew was that Lara was actually royalty. On her 13th birthday, her grandmother slipped her a velvet pouch and whispered into her ears, "This is your crown, never forget who you are." But instead of wearing it, Lara kept it in her pocket. She was afraid of what people would say. She laughed at jokes that weren't funny. She followed friends that dimmed her light. She forgot her worth. Until one day someone asked her, "If you are truly royalty, why do you act like a servant?" And that question changed her. Because royalty don't blend in. Royalty lives different. It brings me to the Bible verse, 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. I'll read. It says, "But you were a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. Dear friends, I urge you, as foreigners and exiles, to abstain from sinful desires which wage war against your soul. Live such good lives among pagans that, though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day he visits you." Right after God talks about royalty, he then says, "I urge you to abstain sinful lust." And guess why he said that? Royals don't just do anything. They don't go around seeking validation in relationships, clothes, attention, or whatever it is other people are doing. Royals are different. They don't just follow the crowd, especially when it comes to sexual purity and character. You have been chosen. You have been chosen to be set apart. You've been set apart. You're a peculiar people. You are a light to your generation. You represent a holy nation. You represent the king. You are the daughter of a king. And when you think about royals, let's use Bridgerton as an example. When you think about royals in Bridgerton, they were not allowed to do a lot of things. They were not allowed to dress a certain way. It was uncouth for them to act in a certain manner or talk in a certain manner. It was absolutely unacceptable for them to engage in anything sexual before their wedding night. They didn't even have knowledge of certain things, because they were royals. My dear girls, I urge you, remember who you are. Never forget. It's okay to be different. It's okay to stand apart. You have not been made to blend into the crowd. You were different, and Jesus loves you. Goodbye.